Hello everyone, this is Deen the Autist. Well, without any further ado, let's get back to it. A night of restlessness has left me feeling fairly groggy this morning. The events of the previous day keep intruding upon my mind. The memory of how Emmy felt against me, the memory of our wrestling match, and most bothersome, the memory of her nightmare. She was in so much pain. I can't stop wondering what it must be like for her to wake up with nobody there. The shower shocks me awake with hot water. Awake, but still worried. What will happen today? Will things just go back to normal? The end of the episode, back to status quo. There was a connection yesterday. Something that nearly pushed us past the boundaries of normal friendship. What would that have been so bad? My mind goes back to the look in Emmy's eyes after our pillow fight. It almost seemed like she was daring me to go on. Almost. But I can't know for sure. Anyway, the track captain's probably first in her affections. But even as I say that, my mind is already snorting derisively. I'm just looking for an excuse, a reason for everything to go wrong, a reason not to try. It's not as if I've even seen the two of them together outside of track practice. And clearly, he's never visited. Emmy said as much herself. If they were close, surely he'd visit. I'm such a wuss. I ought to just go for it anyway. Damn the consequences. That's what Emmy would do, I think. Hell, I know that's what she would do. Which is partially why I'm convinced there's no interest on her end. She hasn't acted either. Maybe because of this track captain, it's possible she's got a bit of an unrequited crush thing going on. But who would be able to clarify their relationship? It sure as hell can't be Emmy. She'd probably just laugh and ask why I wanted to know. And I'm not ready to answer that yet. Rin would probably just give me some cryptic answer or something. And then, with my luck, she'd just ask Emmy, who would ask me why I wanted to know. And I've already covered that problem. I wonder. Could I get away with asking the nurse? He seems pretty protective of Emmy. I'm sure he'd know if something was up. And he owes me for not letting Emmy know he forgot to tell me about her being ill, so he'll keep quiet. What if he asks me why I want to know, though? I can shake him off. Just say I'm curious as a friend. He'll buy that, won't he? Of course. That's settled then. After the run, I'll talk to him while Emmy's waiting outside the office. There is no way this will go bad. There's no sign of Emmy when I arrive at the track. Is she still too ill? I decide to give her 10 minutes. I'm a little early, and she was ill yesterday. So if she takes a while to show up, it shouldn't be surprising. Still, I hate to waste my time, so I occupy myself by stretching and pacing back and forth anxiously. What if I went too far yesterday? What if she doesn't come because she's embarrassed? What if... You're early again, Hazal. I'm impressed. Just like that, I feel some of the tension leaving my body. Emmy seems to be bright and cheerful as usual, with no sign that she even was ill the other day. Much less had a less than restful sleep. Still, I have to ask. Sleep well last night? It was just a throwaway question, small talk. The sort of thing people ask someone they bump into in the cafe while getting their morning coffee. But not for us, at least, not for me. I don't know if Emmy realizes that I'm actually concerned about how well she slept last night, but the question does give her pause. After a short moment of what seems like her genuinely pondering this, she nods. Yep, sure did. Was it because of me? Did I actually help? Or are you just saying that to get me to stop asking questions? Good to hear. Emmy grins and begins warming up. So, ready to begin? I am ready. Am I ready? Of course I'm ready. I was born ready. Emmy laughs at my bravado, and we take off running. I keep a steady pace the whole time, breathing steadily. I still feel dead at the end, but at least I don't gasp like a fish out of water now. Emmy is positively beaming after the run today. Nice job, Azal. You're improving. You'll be half as fast as me in no time. This last line is delivered with a teasing grin that I've grown all too used to. Oh, how exciting. Emmy begins to run her sprints while I take a cool-down lap. She's really pushing herself today. By the time I'm done with my lap, she's laying across one of the bleachers looking exhausted. Goodness. Not pushing it a little too much today, are you? You did just have a cold, you'll recall. Emmy gives an annoyed snort and sits up. Bah! I'm just trying to make up for lost time, that's all. I went it twice as hard today, you know. A good run always gets the kinks out, you know. Clears the mind, too. Oh? Emmy nods vigorously. Yep, it's a great outlet for that sort of thing. She does not explain further, and I don't ask. I suspect I know the real reason she went so hard today. Being sick had nothing to do with it. Something's bothering her. Maybe the nightmare, maybe something else? But it's not my place to pry. She'd tell me if she wanted me to know. I'm sure that comes in handy. You have no idea. The sincerity in her voice confirms my suspicion. The only problem is, even though I know she'd tell me if she wanted me to know, I still want to know. Something on your mind, then? Emmy doesn't seem surprised by my question. Instead, she shrugs. Nah, it's nothing worth getting worried about. She seems as if she's trying to convince herself as much as she's convincing me. I open my mouth to ask if yesterday is responsible for her current state of mind, but I think better of it. Too much risk of her taking the question the wrong way. Besides, I'm not even sure myself what to think about yesterday. Really, I can only get about as far as how it felt to have Emmy sleeping next to me before my brain shuts down. Having her before me now, covered in sweat and looking wryly at me, she's making it difficult to think. Yeah, I hear you. We'd better hurry to see the nurse. We're running short on time. Aren't we always? Emmy laughs at this. A dry chuckle seems most un-Emmy-like. Too true. For a brief moment, she looks old, worn down by some old hurt. But just like yesterday, I can almost see her shouldering the burn and straightening up slightly. And then she's back to being Emmy again. Come on then, Hazal, race ya! With a sudden smile, she darts off. Hey, no fair! I take off after her, knowing I won't catch her, but not caring. Even if there's no chance of catching her, I'll still run after her. Emmy's waiting for me at the door as I arrive. Well, well, look who's finally shown up. Yeah. Enjoy your victory while you can. Emmy grins as the nurse pokes his head out of the door. Well, there you are. Come in, Azal. In what has become a familiar routine by now, he checks my blood pressure and my heart rate. A bit fast today, isn't it? Yeah, I kind of raced Emmy here. The nurse laughs. That's never a good idea. He leans in to whisper to me in a conspiratory manner. I don't know if you've heard, but Emmy's a bit of a track star. I reel back in mock surprise. Really? She's never mentioned it before. The two of us share a laugh. Did she do okay today? Cold seemed to bother her. Why don't you ask her? He rolls his eyes in exasperation. Of course I'm going to ask her too. But she'll tell me that she didn't have any problems, regardless of whether or not she did. So I'm asking you, because you're her friend. and would probably tell me if she had trouble today. When he puts it that way, it makes a lot of sense. She seemed pretty good today, if a little more tired than usual. She was really feeling better when I dropped by yesterday, so I'm not that surprised. The nurse nods, though I notice he tenses slightly when I mention yesterday's visit. Well, that's good to hear. I figured it was just a 24-hour thing. Emmy seems to recover quickly from colds and the like. Hey, speaking of Emmy, are she and the track captain, well, you know? A look of suspicion crosses his face. Why do you ask? Well, it's just that they seem kind of close, and I was just curious, you know? And I'd never ask her, because that'd be kind of embarrassing. So far, so good. Now to really sell it. Besides, I think they'd make a cute couple. The nurse laughs. Well, I don't suppose you're the first to think that. But I think I could say with some certainty that the two of them will never do anything like that. Certainty? Yep. Not that I could tell you, of course. Confidentiality and all that. But yeah, right, you just like holding a secret over my head. That too. Right, get out of here, I'm a busy man, you know. I roll my eyes at his last statement and head out the door, motioning Emmy to go in. The whole time, I'm trying to keep from doing a celebratory dance. The two of them will never do anything like that. That's precisely the sort of thing I wanted to hear. I'm half tempted to make some sort of move on Emmy right now, but I think the nurse would probably disapprove. Besides, I don't know how exactly Emmy feels about me. I mean, it's obvious that she cares about me as a friend, but something more than that? I can't be certain. Even so, I can't help but feel hopeful. I just need to figure out a good time to tell Emmy exactly how I feel. That pause should keep me occupied. I mean, that puzzle should keep me occupied for the rest of the day at least. The rooftop is completely deserted. Normally I could count on Rin to be up here before me, but she's strangely absent. I wonder if she decided to accompany Emmy to the cafeteria for once. That seems pretty unlikely, but that's all I can think of right now. Part of me wants to go look for Rin, but a far larger part of me is too pleased with the way the sun feels on my skin to care. I pick idly at my lunch while I wait for Emmy and Rin to show up. It does not take long for me to hear the sounds of someone coming up the stairs. I wait until the door begins to open before talking. Took you long enough. Keeping me waiting for you, honestly. Okay, this is like a setup for like some sort of joke. The two of you are... Huh? Well, that's odd. The only person standing in the doorway is Emmy, who looks mildly confused. What do you mean, huh? It's me. You know, Emmy. We run in the mornings. She grins, and I feel my heart jump slightly in my chest at the sight. Yes, I knew that. I'm just confused. Where's Rin? Emmy's grin is replaced with a rather guilty-looking expression. Hezao, did you already mess up? Yeah, about that. I sort of... gave her my cold. Oh dear. Am I at risk too? It would make sense after all. Emmy and I were in close contact the other day. What did she and Rin do? So what did she and Rin do that got her ill? Steady on, old lad. Don't go down that road. Bruh. Rin's just probably got a worse immune system than me. Emmy seems shocked by my comment, like she hasn't considered that before. I mean... Okay, let me think. So, I mean, it's entirely possible that Rin has spent less time in the hospital than Hezao. Plus, like, Hezao was in the hospital for, like, what, 6 months at the beginning of the game. So it's not only was he, like, in the hospital for possibly longer than Rin ever was, but he was also there more recently, so his immune system could cover diseases and stuff like that. I don't know. Emmy seems shocked by my comment, like she hasn't considered that before. I hope not. I feel terrible if you get ill because of me, Hazal. Oh man, I think I feel a fever coming on. Emmy looks horrified, then quickly shifts into a more angry expression. Hazal! You stop getting sick. This instant. I won't have it. Impulsively, she seizes me by the collar. Are you listening to me? Hazal's immune system? Get your ass in gear. I give a smart salute. Duly noted, ma'am. Emmy steps back and nods, satisfied. Good. You are not allowed to miss any of our morning runs after all. But you missed a morning run. Emmy crosses her arms and looks at me haughtily. Yes, but that's a special case. It was me, and not you. That's not an explanation at all. Emmy looks flabbergasted. You're kidding, right? That explanation makes perfect sense. No, it doesn't. It's a blatant double standard. I don't see what that has to do with anything. Oh, fine. Emmy seems pleased by her victory. Anyway, is Rin gonna be okay? She's not terribly ill, right? Emmy shakes her head. Nope, she'll be fine. I got her some cold medicine that should help her. Although, I probably should have made sure she didn't try to take them all at once. She's done it before, you know. Hold on, I thought I remembered something about Rin. I think she might have done it in another route. Anyway, somehow I don't find this at all surprising. I doubt Rin is one to pay attention to maximum dosages and stuff. You should probably check in on her later then, just to make sure. Emmy shrugs. I'll stop by after practice. She'll be fine until then. I nod, figuring that line of conversation is over. The only problem is, I don't know what else to talk about. So, you got any more track meets coming up? This is a terribly roundabout way of trying to see if she's free on the weekend. If she's free, maybe I can ask her on a date or something. Well, assuming I can get myself to actually form the words. Emmy shakes her head. Nah, not for another couple of weeks, I think. The season's winding down. Oh yeah, I came in right in the middle of things, didn't I? Does that mean exams are coming up soon? I should probably look into that. What do you do on weekends if there's not a meet? An eyebrow goes up, and did I just call her Emi? And Emmy gets a teasing look on her face. You're awfully inquisitive today, aren't you? I shrug and hope it looks casual. Just making conversation. I don't know what it's like to be a track star after all. Flattery. She waves a hand idly. I'm not actually that good, you know. You just so happen to see me on a good day is all. You liar. Yeah. But humility is the sign of a good athlete. At least, that's what my dad used to say. She shrugs and tries unsuccessfully to hide the rather troubled expression on her face. The rather troubled expression her face has taken on. Hey, what's up? You seem bothered by something. Emmy starts to deny it, then sighs in defeat. I wonder if she's too tired from being sick to get herself to deny it like usual. Or if she actually just trusts me enough at this point to open up. Well, you remember last night? Do I ever? I settle for nodding, however. That's not the first time that's happened to me. I get them kind of... She pauses, as if it suddenly occurred to her what she's doing. Almost as if she's breaking some sort of personal rule here. But she starts up again, choosing her words carefully. Well, not often, but on occasion. It's just been one of those weeks where that's what happens. A sigh escapes her, and she looks terribly frustrated. I reach over and give her a hug, which, unlike last time, doesn't seem to shock her. Instead, she seems to relax as my arms wrap around her. We stay that way for a while. Hey, You know, I was serious last night. You can really talk to me if stuff like this is bothering you. It's always difficult to do this sort of thing solo, you know? Emmy smiles and breaks the embrace, but stays leaning on my shoulder. Thanks, Hazal. I'll be fine, I think. I can already see her reassembling herself, getting ready to bottle it all up again. I guess that topic's closed for now. So hey, given any more thought to that career survey? Can't say I have. I don't tend to plan very far ahead, you know? Although I suppose I should start looking into college, huh? I shrug. I suppose, unless you were serious about that pirate thing. Last I checked, pirates didn't have much need for universities. Unless there's like a pirate university out there somewhere. Emmy giggles and starts to look a little like her old self. But there's a new element to her expression. Impish. That's how I describe it. Emmy looks impish, looking up at me with her head nestled into my shoulder. Would you come with me if I ran off to be a pirate? Of course I would. Who in their right mind would pass up the opportunity to be pirates with you? Well, when you put it that way, I'm not sure. She giggles again. I notice that my heart seems to have sped up. It's probably due to Emmy's proximity to me. That hint of strawberries again. I can't help but grin as I gaze down at her. She's happy again. Hey, Hazal. If you're going to kiss me, you should probably do it soon. I think the lunch bell is about to ring. My thoughts grind to a sudden halt. I'm pretty sure my mouth is hanging open in shock. All I can manage is a strangled, huh? This amuses Emmy even more. You were thinking about it, weren't you? She sits up, bringing her face level with mine. I'd probably enjoy it, you know. You're really... well... She briefly composes herself, looking like she's about to say something important. If you hadn't figured it out by now, I think I've developed a bit of a crush on you. You're gonna have to do something about that. This time, her grin short-circuits several important thought processes. At some point, I turn towards her, and at another point, her arms moved to around my neck. Oh. And yet, another, my arms wrapped around her waist. I'll be damned if I could tell precisely when that happened, because at that moment, there's only a voice in the back of my head yelling at me to kiss her. I look into Emmy's eyes. There it is. The thing I saw yesterday on the bed. It's there again. It suddenly strikes me that she's worried I'll reject her. What a silly worry for her to have. Yeah, baby! Yeah! Her lips taste faintly of strawberries. She leans into the kiss. Her arms tighten around the back of my head, making sure that I don't pull away. Not that there was any danger of that. There's a churning feeling in my gut. The world falls away. There's just me and her and this bench. My arms tighten, drawing her waist closer, entranced by the feel of her. I inhale her scent, my mind trying desperately to memorize everything about how she tastes, how she smells, how she feels. The ringing of the bell snaps us both back to reality, and we break the kiss. Emmy's cheeks are slightly flushed, and she seems to be catching her breath in defense. In her defense, so am I. We stand there for a few moments, trying to wrap our heads around what we've just done. Emmy is the first to break the silence. So? Want to grab dinner after I'm done with practice? What a coincidence. I was about to ask you the same thing. Well, actually, I suppose it was going to be some kind of proper date on the weekend or something. But the thought was there, I think. Emmy gives me a playful shove. Yeah, right. You were still in shock by how incredibly awesome I am at kissing. We begin to head down the stairs back to our respective classrooms. Hey, I didn't see you talking immediately afterwards either. That I didn't. See you after practice, Asao. She leans in quickly, gives me a quick kiss in the middle of the hallway, sending me into another brief state of mental freefall. As I head into my classroom, a giggling Misha greets me. Hey, Hee-chan, why, Hee-chan, you romantic you? Did you confess on the rooftop, did you? Actually, I think it was the other way around. This sends Misha into a fresh fit of laughter. Young love is so unpredictable, isn't it? I'm not gonna say anything. This being Misha, I suppose I should have expected her to tease me over this. I guess. Before I can really respond, Mutuo's entered the room and Misha skips off to her seat, giggling all the while. I suspect that I'll get a lot of that sort of conversation now, especially seeing as how Emmy kissed me right in the middle of the hall. But somehow, I don't care about that. For the first time since arriving here, my heart feels light. Act 3, baby! Act 3. Perspective. My head's in a spin all through Mutuo's class. I'm going to have dinner with Emmy, who wants to be my girlfriend no less. A date. And then she kissed me? That kiss. I keep going back to it, playing it over in my mind again and again. Something about that moment felt so right. My mind drifts off, lost in thoughts of Emmy. Nikai? Hello? It seems like I've drifted a bit too far. Huh? What? Egad, you've contracted some kind of amnesia? Someone get the nurse. The class chuckles at Mutuo's antics. Sorry, sir. You know, Mutuo seems like a cool, chill teacher. Like, yeah, he reminds me of, what was it? What was that class? Anyway, it was a teacher that taught AP Computer Science in my high school that I was a part of, and he was a pretty cool teacher. It's like, Mutuo reminds me a lot of that guy. Like, he was a very, very interesting person. Anyways, actually, last time I, yeah, before I graduated, he went on about, like, how he was going to be a college professor. Yeah, I hope he's doing well. I hope he is, because, you know, he's a pretty cool teacher, all things considered. Sorry, sir. Won't happen again and all that, right? Exactly. Mutuo brightens considerably. Well, lovely to hear. I'd hate to have my star pupil slacking off after all. I've been doing it well, but I can hardly qualify as a star pupil, I think. I'm fairly certain that this class is the sort that everyone does well in. It's just memorizing formulas. True to my word, I managed to pay attention for the rest of the class. Nikai, may I have a word with you? No PDA. I wonder if I'm in trouble for earlier. Sure. Am I in trouble? Mutuo looks genuinely confused for a moment. Beg your pardon? He tilts his head to one side and thinks for a moment. Oh, that. No, you're not in any sort of trouble. There's a question I want to ask you. What's that? Nothing terrible. I was just wondering what your plans for after graduation are. Are you going to university? That's right. That's why I remember. Okay, this route is going to go a very interesting direction for Hizao, because that's why Mutuo reminds me. Okay, yeah. Are you going to university? Yeah, I guess. I can't really see a reason not to go. Given it any thought to what you'll study? Not really, no. I figure I'll come up with something when I get there. Mutuo laughs. Taking things easy as they come, eh? I'd argue against it. But that's how I did things when I went to university. Well, not really. I knew I'd go into a science. I just wasn't sure which one. Ended up with physics. but could have just gone well for astronomy, or what have you. Actually, I did go for chemistry first, but there were all sorts of things. Mutuo trails off and frowns slightly. It takes a minute for him to recover his train of thought, and I wait patiently for him to continue. So anyway, I did a lot of physics as well, because I had interest in that. But I wasn't sure if that was for me. So I went back to chemistry, and here we are. Yes? He smiles at me enthusiastically, as if waiting for me to confirm that yes, here is where we are. Somehow I get the feeling that Mutuo had a plan for this conversation, but I'll be damned if I can figure it out. I'm sorry, I'm not following you. Mutuo frowns and rubs his chin a bit, looking perplexed. He then snaps his fingers as if he's remembered what the point of all that was. Right, yes, you. Me? Yes. You should look into studying one of the sciences, like computer science. Okay, I'm done. Like I had one teacher that was like Mutuo, and I think I had a class with them all 4 years of high school. Yeah, that's right. He also taught taught CAD, which actually is that the correct one? The CAD is the one that architects use, right? Anyway, we use like architectural software and stuff and like figure out things. There was also like coding with Arduino and many other things we used to do with like the Raspberry Pi, and jeez, you know, I need to like look his name up. Like, I wonder what he's doing now. I hope he's doing okay. He was a pretty cool teacher. Yes, you should look into studying one of the sciences. You're fantastic at it. What the? Text history. You're fantastic at it. Unless you'd rather just go into math. Mutuo makes a sour face. Not a big fan of straight math. I always like the experiments more than the proofs. Yeah, me too. You're saying I should study science at university? Mutuo seems thrown off balance by my question. Well, sort of. You could also join the science club. Trouble is, there's not actually a science club. But there could be. You could even be a charter member, a founding father. Of course, you'll need to find other members. Well, only if you wanted to. We could just start it up with the two of us. And, I could give you things to read, and we can talk about them. And I could help you get ready for university and such as well. That's right, yes, yeah. Not only was I a part of this teacher's computer science class, but I was also part of his engineering class. And, I took all of his engineering classes, and I took the computer science. The AP computer science. And, yeah, that's right. We also did the 3D printing and stuff. Anyway, this was a cool teacher. This was a cool teacher, guys. It's like... This is why this... Mutuo reminds me of this teacher so much. Anyways. And I can actually get ready for university and such as well. Wait. Mutuo rummages around in his briefcase and tosses me a book. Read that. If it's interesting, then we could talk about it. A brief history of time? I don't know if I actually want to read this, but Mutuo seems pretty excited about it. What's it about? Time, space, space-time, black holes and such. And it's not that dense. Just to see if that sort of thing's interesting for you, you understand? Hang around after class, and we can either discuss it, or I can show you how to make explosives in the lab. Yeah. He waves a hand at my quizzical expression. Joking, sorry. Still, I've kept you here long enough for now. I think about science as a career path, Nikai. I think you'd enjoy it. Okay, well, thank you for the book. Yeah. So one thing you'll notice as the game continues and I do other routes is that um not only is the girl that you're romantically interested in is different, but a lot of things in Hizao's life is different as well. And for example, in Emmy's route, I think Hizao becomes a scientist. Like I don't like that's a pretty good career path, I think. Even if it has nothing to do with like running or exercise, but like, being a scientist is pretty cool and I think fits the route. Anyways, I leave the classroom and look up at the clock. Quite a chunk of time to kill until Emmy's out of practice. I guess I'll give this book a look. I should probably shower as well. Showering before a date's only proper, right? I head back to the dorms. I wonder where I'm supposed to meet Emmy anyway. She said after practice, but she didn't say where I should find her. I guess I can just swing by the track. That's probably best anyway. If she needs a shower, I can just wait for her in the room or something. Or in the hallway, I guess. That would be better as well. I take a quick shower, remembering to take my medication once I hop out. Now for a look at this book. He's gonna lose track of time, isn't he? Oh god. I genuinely didn't remember this part. I wake with a start. Shit, what time is it? A glance at the clock reveals that I've been asleep for nearly an hour. Thank goodness. Emmy's practice should be finishing up soon. I throw on some casual clothes and head for the track. Somehow, I get the feeling we won't be doing anything fancy for dinner. Emmy doesn't strike me as a fancy sort of person. It's the morning, isn't it? Still, I suppose there's a lot I have yet to show Emmy. To know about Emmy. Despite our newfound closeness, I feel like I don't know her as well as I should. Well, I have lots of time to fix that. To be honest, I'm looking forward to get to know her more. I'm so caught up track. I'm so caught up in my own thoughts that I barely register that I'm already at the track. Emmy is nowhere to be found. I don't see any signs of the track team. Yeah, you see, like, yeah, you do not read or watch anything without like also watching the clock, right? Like I do this too, where I sometimes get way too absorbed into something. I look at the clock like after I like finish a chapter, and then oh shit, I'm like hours late. I mean, I haven't done it recently, right? I haven't done it in a few years, but yeah, this could be embarrassing. I turn my head towards the girls' dormitory when I hear a shout, "Hey, Izao!" I turn around to see Emmy make a beeline for me with a gym bag slung over her shoulder. She's changed into some decidedly more casual clothing. A pair of shorts and an olive green top. Her running blades have been replaced with more realistic looking legs. That probably wouldn't fool anyone. Emmy doesn't seem to care about that, a fact which makes me smile. Hey, you came! Oh, so maybe I was wrong, and maybe maybe this actually is gonna work out. I figured you would, but still. I suddenly find myself wrapped in a rather affectionate hug, and it proves to be impossible for me to keep what must be the world's largest grin off my face. Well, of course I came. I'd be crazy not to, right? And he ponders for a moment. You know, that's true. I mean, I'm pretty amazing after all. I shrug in response. I certainly think so. It's an offhand remark, which is why I'm surprised to see that it seems to have caught Emmy by surprise. She blushes and smiles warmly at me before planting a kiss on my lips. Now it's my turn to be surprised. Like, oh no! Emmy steps back, resting her weight on her back heel, looking pleased with herself. My brain fumbles for an appropriate response. I should compliment you more often. Emmy laughs and gives me a playful shove. Jerk. Throw an arm around Emmy's shoulders, and I am pleased when she immediately leans into me, as if it were the most natural thing in the world. So are two. I'm not actually sure. Where do people go on dates around here anyway? That's a damn good question. I've got no idea. Why don't we just head down to the Aura Mart and grab something portable? The Aura Mart? What is that? Emmy's face brightens at this idea. A picnic! I think you're onto something, Hazal. Emmy shakes her arm. Emmy snakes her arm around my waist, and we begin to head for the front gate. I'm entirely unsure of what I'm meant to do in this situation, but at least Emmy seems to be equally clueless. Despite the relaxing feeling of being with Emmy, I still can't help feeling a little tense. What if I do something wrong? I'd hate to make an ass out of myself. The trip to the Aura Mart is accompanied by Emmy's chatter about how practice went. I keep quiet for the most part, merely enjoying the warmth of being around Emmy. We get a few odd looks from passerby, but I don't mind. We end up buying some bread and instant noodles, realizing too late that we cannot actually cook the latter in the park. Bruh. Oh well, I'll make it for lunch or something. That'll work. Honestly, I'm pretty sure instant noodles are pretty unhealthy. I don't know, I haven't checked, but like, don't they like have... That's right, they have like radioactive in them, right? It's one noodle company, or it might have been a different company, I might be confusing things, but I'm pretty sure one noodle company with a ramen had their recalled because there was a lot of radioactive in there. So it's like... Plus, you know, generally, like, grain stuff that is, like, instantly made is not that good for you because of, like, all the stuff that's in it. So, yeah. The park is located after a brief loss of direction that I blame entirely on Emmy. She, of course, blames me. We find a spot beneath a tree and sit down. I lean back against the trunk. Emmy sits across from me. I guess we should have brought a blanket or something to sit on, huh? Emmy shrugs. I don't mind. Neither do I. Emmy tosses a package of bread and we dig in. Curry bread. Interesting. I guess I wasn't really paying attention to what I grabbed in the store. Hey Hazao, you look like your bread's a little spicy. So like, do they have like flavored bread or something in Japan? I don't remember this scene at all. I shake my head, trying in vain to keep an image of manliness. Nah, it's hardly spicy at all. I see. That must be why your face has gotten so red. Yes, exactly. The lack of spice has, gotten my blood up. Because of the disappointment! Emmy laughs and swallows the last of her bread. Well, if you can't handle it, I'll be glad to take it off your hands. Hey, just because you wolfed down yours so quickly, doesn't mean I'm going to give you mine. Emmy mock pouts, causing me to nearly choke on my bread with laughter. Oh, come on, Azao. Aren't you supposed to be concerned with making sure I've got enough to eat now? We're dating, you know. Though, Emmy looks troubled all of a sudden. I can't say I feel any different. What do you mean by that? What makes this a date? It's just what we would have done anyway, really. But this should feel different because when we had lunch, we were friends, and now we're a level above friends. You sound like Rin. Laughter escapes, and Emmy grins. Well, she might have put the thought into my mind. We've talked about that sort of thing before. Really? About me? Not really, just stuff, really. Rin thinks that the change of label from friend to girlfriend seems arbitrary most of the time. Like, there's no difference between the two. I can think of at least one, you know. You don't tend to kiss your friends quite as much. For the second time today, Emmy blushes slightly and giggles. I suppose you're right. Exactly. I'm always right about things like this. Alright, well, if you're hearing children in the background, that's because, Anyway, whatever. Emmy rolls her eyes and chuckles. I guess you're pretty smart, huh? I nod in agreement. Yep. Even Mutuo thinks so. He thinks I should go into some scientific study after graduation. Emmy raises an eyebrow. Oh, really? Yeah, I'm thinking I actually might do just that. Really, the more I consider the idea, the more it appeals to me. I make a mental note to look into it a little more closely. So, what are you thinking of doing after graduation? Still planning on running? Emmy shrugs, seeming almost a bit hesitant. I don't know if I'm good enough. And I can find a team, I guess? I mean, you mean you aren't sure? I mean, I'm sure there's like... Yeah, there's like Paralympic teams, I think. Am I using the right word? Paralympic? I don't know if I'm using the right word, but there's definitely sports teams out there that, you know, for running and stuff for disabled or crippled people, right? You mean you aren't sure? I haven't really thought about it, to be honest. Really? Probably should, you know. Graduation isn't that far off. Emmy fidgets a little nervously. Yeah, well, it's far enough, right? Besides, I've got other things to think about. There's a mischievous flash behind Emmy's eyes, and I suddenly find myself gloriously pinned against the tree. Like making sure this is a real date, right? I mean, if we don't kiss that, it's not a date at all, right? I suppose... Strawberries and curry. Not the best combination, but I don't think I mind. Emmy sits back on my legs and grins again. There. Science would approve, right? Science! I have the oddest mental image of Mutuo nodding seriously and making a mark on some checklist. God damn it, Mutuo! I can't help laughing at the idea. Well, I'll admit, this is the first time I've ever witnessed a kiss being met with laughter. Should I feel offended? No. I'm sure science approves. Emmy beams at me, and I find it increasingly difficult to keep my brain functioning properly. Oh good. It is at this point I noticed that Emmy has stolen the remainder of my curry bread while I was otherwise occupied with the images of teachers wielding clipboards. Hey. Emmy tries to look innocent, but considering she just crammed the last bits of my bread into her mouth, it does not appear to be working. Sorry, couldn't resist. Thief? A shrug from my companion is all I get in response. You used your feminine wiles on me. I wasn't that hungry anyway, but I still feel that the point needs to be made. Emmy seems confused by the phrase, feminine wiles, but the understanding draws on her features after a moment's thought. I wasn't anything of the sort. You were laughing. Feminine wiles don't involve laughing. I guess I can't argue with this. That doesn't change your thievery. Emmy laughs at my injured tone and gives me a playful shove. Fine. You can have instant noodles. Are you kidding? That stuff's terrible. If anything, you should definitely eat it as punishment. Another laugh from the girl sitting on my legs, both of which have fallen asleep by now. I twitch one leg to try waking it up, which has the unintended effect of unbalancing Emmy, who falls to the side with a startled eep. Whoops, sorry about that. Legs fell asleep on me. Emmy remains on the ground, giggling. I stand up a little shakily, feeling the nerves on my legs return to normal. My eyes wander over the scenery before fixing on the figure of Emmy, who has yet to get up. Her hair is splayed around her head, her arms are spread, and laughter is bubbling up through her mouth. Everything about Emmy seems condensed into this one image. Her energy, her spirit, her childish giggling. The urge to lay down on the grass with her rises swiftly from the back of my mind to the front of my thoughts, and indeed I am convinced that I would love nothing more than to do just that. Unfortunately, the sun has set, and it is probably time for us to get back to the dormitories. While Emmy may be happy to stay out there all night, I don't think I have that ability. Besides, homework soon beckons. It wouldn't make sense to start thinking about things like university when I slack off, would it? I extend a hand to Emmy to help her up. We should probably get going. Emmy makes a sour face. You're right. She grabs my proffered hand and I pull her to her feet and into a hug. This time, I'm the one who kisses her, unable to resist having Emmy against me. Seems a shame to leave, you know? Yeah, it does. But if we don't get back to the school soon, we'll probably get in trouble. Emmy pokes me in the ribs playfully. And you need to do your homework, I'm sure. Sadly, you're absolutely right. I throw my arm around her shoulders, and we make the trek back to the school, accompanied by occasional bouts of laughter as our conversation jumps from subject to subject. Everything from running, school, to the peculiar way that one of the cafeteria workers smells. All too soon, we find ourselves outside of the girls' dormitory building. Well, I guess I'll be going then. I guess so, huh? Emmy grins at me with that mischievous look. Are you gonna be able to survive without me? I laugh. I'm sure I'll manage. How terrible. Aren't you supposed to be saying, like, I'll be counting the seconds you are away? Nah, I don't think so. Emmy pulls me down into a quick goodbye kiss and steps back, looking unexpectedly shy. Thanks for dinner. I really had fun. Honestly, I did. So did I. I think we shall have to do it again sometime. Emmy laughs at my deadpan delivery and nods. See you bright and early tomorrow morning, right? You gotta run off that bread after all. Of course, despite the fact you ate most of it. Yes, despite that. See you later, Hazal. As Emmy turns to head inside, I notice something weird. Something so weird I'm surprised I didn't notice it earlier. She's limping slightly, favoring the left leg. Hey, Emmy. Is your leg okay? Emmy looks confused, or at least fakes confusion. What are you talking about? Your right leg. You're limping. There's a briefest flash of concern on Emmy's face. Either she didn't want me to know, or she didn't think I'd notice, or I prefer to think she just didn't realize it. Oh, that. She shrugs casually. Must have gotten knocked a little out of alignment during the picnic. No idea what would have caused that, of course. I think back to being pinned under the tree. Ah, you should have told me. We could have at least stopped and fixed it, you know. Emmy waves a hand airily. Nah, it's not that big of a deal. Don't worry about it, okay, Azal? It's fine. Okay, this... Okay. I will have to think about this choice, guys. I'm sorry. I mean, it's about time to end this video. So the next one, I don't know, I might keep recording, I might not. Depends on what I decide. I think I'm going to take a break. Alright, goodbye.